My name is Ellie Lewis. I'm 27 years old. I'm a stay-at-home wife in my third year of marriage to Easton, who was my high school classmate. We've had a good relationship, never having to worry about infidelity until now. I never imagined that cheating would be the reason we'd split up. Take care, see you later. Will you working late today, too? Yeah, my boss invited me out for drinks, so I'll be late. Don't worry about me. Go ahead and sleep first as usual. Easton and I had clearly defined roles. He worked while I, as a stay-at-home wife, took care of all the household chores. That day, after sending off Easton, I cleaned the house from top to bottom as usual. However, there was something different. It was when I cleaned up my husband's study. You don't need to clean my study. There are things I use for work, and I don't want them moved around. Easton usually says this because he doesn't want me entering his study. But that day, the door was accidentally left open, and I saw the mess inside. It was far from tidy. I didn't clean the room because he promised he'd do it regularly. How can he find anything for work? I guess I'll just quickly tidy up the parts that stand out. Easton has been on more business trips and works more weekends than when we first got married, so he probably hasn't had the time to clean his study. Seeing the study in such disarray, I thought it was good to help him clean it up. And then, what's this? A planner book I've never seen before. While organizing the desk, I found a red planner I hadn't seen before. I usually don't snoop through Easton's things, but at that time, something compelled me to open it. Despite feeling guilty, I opened the planner. What's this? What does it mean? Inside was a photo of Easton holding a baby, looking very close with a woman. And that woman. Why is Claire in this photo with him? That woman was Claire, a classmate from high school who attended the same school as my husband and I. She was a friend who in the same class for 3 years. But she and Easton weren't supposed to be close. And yet, why then was she in a photo, holding a child with Easton? This looks like a christening photo from their outfits. Whose child is this? And why is he holding the baby? My mind raced with unpleasant farts, so I searched the planner for more clues. Then, I found something more shocking. The planner contained what seemed to be the name and birth date of the child in the photo. There were entries for days Easton said he was on business trips, but it noted outings with Claire. It appears, from the contents of the planner, that the child is Easton's. Why would this? How could this? And at the very back of the planner, there was an unmarked brown envelope ticked away. Inside the envelope, to my astonishment, was a completed divorce form. The divorce form. Could it be he's planning to divorce me? After doing something like this, he's been living as if nothing happened, thinking he could do whatever he wants without me knowing. I'll never forgive this. I'll make him regret it. And so, I swore revenge on him for his betrayal. However, oblivious to all this, my husband cheerfully returned home later. Yeah, I'm home. Man, I'm beat today too. Welcome back. You came home aiter than I thought. Yay, the boss got pretty drunk. He kept insisting I drink with him. I couldn't get away. Did you really go out drinking with your boss? Huh. Yeah, but what? You don't trust me. It's not that I don't trust you. I just thought it's hard on you, always coming home late. Well, as long as you understand. Well, right. I've been invited by my boss to go on an overnight golf trip on the 23rd and 24th of this month. Take care of the house for me. An overnight trip. Just you and your boss. Yay. He's a guy, you know. A guy. You've met him before, right? Mr. Campbell, my direct supervisor. The person I was drinking with today was Mr. Campbell. Nothing like what you're thinking happened. Okay, I got it. What's with you today? You're acting strange. Normally, you're happy to see me off. I feel bad making you spend every day off alone. But this is important for my career, to get on my boss' good side. You'll forgive me, right? He said to me unconvincingly. But I knew. It was all a lie. The dates he mentioned matched the schedule in the planner for a first-time amusement park trip with Claire and the child. That's why I decided to make that day the day of my revenge. The aftermath of a happy memory would make the despair all the more bitter. That's what I thought. There's nothing to forgive because I understand everything you're going through. Don't worry about me and the time. Just go and enjoy yourself. No. Yeah, I'll enjoy the trip. But I won't forget about you, Ellie. I'll bring back a souvenir, so look forward to it, okay? Saying that, my husband placed his hand on my head. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Then I'll prepare a surprise for you in return when you get back. They surprise. I wonder what it is. Can't wait. It's a surprise for the day. I think you'll be really surprised. About a month passed. I acted as if nothing had happened, continuing my life as usual with my husband. And then, the day of action came in a flash. I'll be off then. Call me if anything comes up. I might not be able to respond right away since I'll be with my boss. I'll try to keep an eye on my phone as much as possible. Okay, got it. Take care. Unaware that I had caught on to his real plans, my husband left with a golf bag, unnecessary for an amusement park, likely planning to stash it somewhere before heading to her place. Suppressing my laughter at his unnecessary actions, I began the final preparations for my revenge. 2 days after he left, he came back home, discovered my surprise, and called me in a panic. Hey Ellie. Where are you right now? What's with the house? What in the world happened? Huh. Didn't I tell you? I'd prepare a surprise for when you got back. What do you think? Shocked, aren't you? Shocked, yes, but all your belongings are gone. That's like I'm living alone in this house now. That's right. From now on, you'll be living in that house by yourself. It's not just like a house where one lives alone. It is a house where you will live alone from now on. Huh? What are you talking about? We're husband and wife. Husband and wife? What are you even saying? Don't make me laugh. Keeping a filled-out divorce form hidden away. You wanted to live alone, didn't you? No. Not alone, but with Claire and that child, the 3 of you living together. You didn't find that planner in my study, did you? Sorry, but I saw everything. The photo of you, Claire, and the child looking so cozy together. The entries about you lying about business trips and working weekends to go out. Every little detail. What? I told you not to enter my study, didn't I? Well, it was such a mess. I thought you wouldn't be able to find anything in there. I thought I was doing a good thing cleaning it up, but I ended up finding something unbelievable. Don't do unnecessary things. We had an agreement not to clean my study. And to snoop through someone's things like that. That's beyond lacking common sense. Huh. You, having a kid with another woman behind my back and talking about common sense. Huh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because you didn't go golfing with your boss, did you? How was the first trip to the amusement park with the 3 of you? It's the season for those parades now, right? Huh, I wish I could have gone too. You must be joking. The only joke here is you. You've been deceiving me for over a year now. I never thought you'd get involved with a friend from my high school days like this. It seems I was the only one who thought we were a good couple over these past few years. So, as you wished, I signed that filled-out divorce form and submitted it to the city hall today. We're no longer husband and wife. You're free to go back to them or do whatever you like. Wait, just wait a minute. You're telling me you submitted the divorce form while I was away? Yes, I did. Is there a problem? You wanted a divorce, that's why you prepared the form, right? Filling in only your part and even signing it. It seemed like you couldn't bring yourself to hand it over to me, so I did it for you. Returning home with a simple souvenir bought at the souvenir shop, trying to hide the amusement park trip, my now ex-husband was greeted by the fact that I found out about his lies, had submitted the divorce form, and left with all my belongings gone. Okay, I was wrong. Just come back home. Let's talk. I was wrong. As if that's something new. And there's nothing left for us to talk about. You're just going to make excuses, aren't you? No, it's not. Wasting my time listening to things I have no interest in. I don't care. Why you cheated, how things turned out this way. It's not worth hearing. Do you understand how I felt from the day I found out you were planning to divorce me until now? How painful it was for me to smile at you, acting innocently without knowing anything. But I don't care anymore. In the months since that day, I found a job and moved into a new place. No matter how much you try to justify yourself, I'm not coming back to you. You wanted this outcome, so you should be happy, right? Why are you panicking? Would it have been a problem if I confronted you with the divorce form? No, that's not. Anyway, I also informed your parents earlier. They'll probably contact you soon. What? You told my dad and mom? Of course. We were husband and wife. It's only right to let them know we're divorcing. What exactly did you tell them? I told them everything I saw, just as it was. Then what did they? If you're so curious about their reaction, why don't you ask them yourself? Ask them myself. That's impossible. You know how strict my parents are, Ellie. So what? That's not my problem, is it? That's how it is. Good luck with everything. Hey, wait. Just wait a minute. Ellie. Ellie. I ignored his shouts and hung up the phone. My in-laws, especially my Phil, are traditional and strict. He detested dishonesty, and from a young age, he would say, "Don't do things that trouble others. Learn to consider other people's feelings." I had heard from Easton before that he was raised strictly with that admonition. Yet, despite that, he failed to consider the feelings of his wife, the most important person, and it came to light that he had an affair with a friend of his wife and fathered a child. After I hung up the phone, it seemed that my in-laws had contacted him and arranged a meeting to discuss things. I had no intention of having a conversation with him, but for both our parents, it was a serious matter. Both our parents, Easton and I, all 6 of us, gathered at his parents' house. In the most awkward atmosphere, what was supposed to be a discussion turned into an interrogation of him. He must have already been severely reprimanded by my in-laws. He sat in the chair, looking utterly depleted. "So, what exactly were you thinking? Having a child with another woman while having a wife? Explain everything from start to finish so everyone can understand." Without resistance, as if resigned, he started to explain everything that had happened. It all started with a high school reunion 2 years ago. Originally, she was Ellie's friend, and I had no interaction with her during high school. But that day, she approached me. "It's been a while. Do you remember me?" Yeah, I remember you. You're Claire, Ellie's friend, right? You remember me. I'm glad to hear that. You even came to our wedding, didn't you? That's right. We didn't interact much in high school, but I've always admired you, Easton. So, I'm happy you even remembered my name. If it's okay, can I have your contact info? Maybe we could go out for a meal sometime. But you're married, aren't you, Claire? It's a bit exchanging contacts with someone of the opposite sex, especially since you're a friend of Ellie's. What they don't know won't hurt them, right? Everyone does it. You and Ellie are too serious. I'm not inviting you to do anything shady. So, let's keep it a secret from Ellie and them. He foolishly took the bait and started meeting her secretly without telling me. And eventually, it led to a physical relationship. Actually, I think I'm pregnant. I felt sick and went to the doctor, and they said I'm about 5 weeks along. What? I haven't been with my husband in that way because I'm planning to divorce him, so... Could it be? Yes, this child is yours. To think I could have a child with you, someone I've always admired. I'm so happy. Will you come with me to the next check-up? Would you be happy if it's a boy or a girl? What should we do with the name? Wait, just wait a minute. We're both married, aren't we? If it gets out that we have a child, why would you say that? I thought you'd be happy. No, it's not like that. Are you saying you won't take responsibility? Responsibility. You will marry me and becoming the father of this child, of course. What other way is there to take responsibility? But I don't intend to divorce my wife. You were the one who said you didn't intend to do anything wrong. And now this happens, honestly, it'll be troubling for me. Troubling. Getting into this situation was with your consent, wasn't it, Easton? So this was all just a game to you. I'm preparing to divorce my husband to be with you. You're terrible. Too terrible. If you won't take responsibility, I don't know what I'll do. I'll expose everything to Ellie, our classmates, and everyone at the office. I'll never forgive you. Okay. Just calm down for now. So, you'll divorce Ellie and marry me. Okay. And so, coerced by the fact that a child was on the way, he agreed to the birth. He began preparations to divorce me, he said. Do you even realize what you've done? I know. But what choice did I have? She said she didn't know what she'd do if I didn't take responsibility. What was I supposed to do? I had no other choice. No other choice. Are you kidding me? Maybe Claire was the one who approached you. But if you had firmly declined from the start, this wouldn't have happened, would it? Getting physically involved with Claire after succumbing to her temptation was also your responsibility. Why are you trying to pin it all on Claire and run away? I'm not trying to run away. Just what? If you have something to say it clearly. I didn't want to divorce you, Ellie. I was just being threatened by Claire. I never thought about divorce at all. I didn't want to prepare that divorce form. Believe me, Ellie, you're the only one for me. Really? You never intended to divorce. Are you serious? Of course, I'm serious. I have to take responsibility for the child too. So, I plan to pay child support from my salary. But I want to live with Ellie, not Claire, from now on. Please, let's start over. He said, deeply sorry. However, I knew there was still something he was hiding. So, what's this? Saying that, I presented an envelope in front of everyone. What's this? I found this envelope when I entered his study. It was placed separately from the divorce form, and at first, I thought it was unrelated. But I was shocked when I looked inside. It was fabricated evidence of an affair, made to look like I was cheating. What? It seems he hired someone to fabricate evidence of an affair I supposedly had. There were receipts and business cards inside as well. His claim of not wanting to divorce me is completely false. I think he lied just to get through this situation. Right. What do you have to say for yourself? Why would you do such a thing? That is, Easton, can you stop hiding things now? It's going to come out eventually even if you try to keep it hidden. Just give up and tell us everything. Cornered by everyone's questions, he realized there was no escape and began to tell the truth. Honestly, before the child was born, I really hadn't thought about divorcing Ellie. But after the child was born, seeing my own child's face made me think. I started to think I wanted to live with Claire and the child, leaving Ellie. And when it came time to bring up divorce, I didn't know how to start the conversation with Ellie. Just saying I wanted a divorce, she would definitely ask why. Saying it was due to incompatibility would be a lie since we've been getting along until now. But to tell the truth, I just couldn't say it. I wouldn't be able to face Ellie or our parents after that. So that's not the real reason, is it? The main reason wasn't that. You don't want to pay alimony for cheating on me, right? That's why you wanted to make it look like I was the one cheating, so you could demand a divorce, right? No, that's not. It's not different, huh? You wanted to demand alimony from me and live happily, the three of you, didn't you? Am I wrong? To think you'd go that far? I can't believe it. What are you saying now? There's no way I'd do that. Then why were you so panicked when I quietly submitted the divorce form? Because you wouldn't be able to present the fabricated evidence of cheating to me, right? That way, you couldn't demand alimony after the divorce, right? That is too bad for you. You were supposed to receive alimony from me and live happily with your child. You thought I didn't know. So, I was just. If you have a counter-argument, let's hear it. I have all the evidence I need. So, no matter what you say, I'm confident I can counter it. So, please, go ahead. He could no longer argue and remained silent, looking down. Okay, it seems there's nothing more to say. Then, here's this from me. What's this? It's the demand for alimony, obviously. I had a lawyer prepare this in advance. I was planning to send it, but since we're having this discussion, it worked out perfectly. He cautiously looked over the amount of alimony. What the $40,000? There's no way alimony for a mere 2 years of affair could amount to that much. What do you think you've done in those 2 years? Two already married people having a child together. What's mere about that? Stop underestimating me. But $40,000 is a huge sum. I can't possibly pay that. With a child on the way, I'll have financial responsibilities. It's impossible. Is that my concern? I think the money for the child and alimony to me are entirely separate matters. If you're worried about not having money for the child, why not find it from somewhere else? What's that supposed to mean? You want me to get into debt? I didn't say that. But it's equally irrelevant to me. You really are heartless. $40,000, you're joking. Joking. You're the one who needs to stop joking around. This is all you're doing, your own fault. It's exactly as Ellie said. Child expenses and alimony are two different things. Using the child as an excuse to not pay alimony is utterly preposterous. But enough with the bits. It's annoying. You have just one thing to do. Pay Ellie the alimony and apologize sincerely. That's nonsense. If you say you can't, we're disowning you. We didn't raise you to be like this. Get out now. His father's angry shout deflated him completely. Acknowledging the affair, he agreed to pay the alimony. However, there was still something left for me to do. That was my revenge on Claire, my friend and his affair partner. I immediately sent a demand for alimony to Claire as I did with Easton. But knowing Claire, who approached a married man so casually, she wouldn't comply easily. A few days later, I received a call full of complaints from Claire, who had received the demand. I've heard everything from him. Our relationship got exposed, huh? But isn't it weird for you to demand alimony from me? And such a huge amount. Why? What's weird about it? You knew he was married and still got involved. Isn't it natural to be asked for alimony? Natural. But I have his child. So what? Whether you two raise the child together or not, that's separate from this, isn't it? It's not unrelated. You might not understand because you don't have children, but raising a child is really hard. We were planning to raise the child together with our combined efforts. I don't have the money to pay you alimony. So, what about it? That's why I'm telling you to withdraw the alimony demand. Why is society so harsh on those raising children? If you don't have children, at least support those who are raising them. The reason he cheated is because you didn't keep a tight enough hold on him, right? Don't put all the blame on me. I can't believe you'd say something like that. And what's this about being harsh on those raising children? What are you talking about? That's completely off topic. Look, I've heard the whole story from him too. Because you had a child, you pressured him to marry you. Threatening that if he didn't take responsibility, you didn't know what you'd do. After doing such things, contesting the demand for alimony is really absurd, don't you think? Or are you still going to insist you're not at fault? That is, I thought we were friends. You even came to my wedding. Why would you do this? But it couldn't be helped. I've liked him since before you started dating him. And then you two started dating and later got married. I thought I'd give up after seeing how happy you two looked at your wedding. But seeing him again at the reunion 2 years ago, I couldn't keep my feelings suppressed anymore. That's why. So, you approached him, and after you ended up with a child, pressuring him into marriage. Look, we're already divorced, you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's not my place to say. Go ahead and marry, or whatever. But since you got involved while we were still married, you need to take responsibility for that first. And with that, Claire had nothing more to say, remaining silent until she finally hung up. However, whether my words had an effect or not, she later agreed to accept the demand for alimony and started making payments. My ex-husband and her have been faithfully paying alimony every month. But I never contacted them again for the rest of my life. Months passed, and I had gotten used to life in a new place, when I unexpectedly ran into my mill while shopping. From her, I heard what happened to him afterward. Actually, after that, the two of them decided to remarry, but, to everyone's surprise, that child turned out not to be my son's child. What? She pretended the child was my son's to get him to marry her. As the child grew, it became obvious the child didn't resemble him at all, so he secretly did a test. When he confronted her, she confessed the child was actually her ex-husband's. Shockingly, the child in those photos was not his child but her ex-husband's. My ex-husband had been completely fooled by her scheme. She thought claiming to have his child would be enough to steal a married man. Well, she technically succeeded, but now it's a living hell. She insists on not wanting a divorce, and my son is furious. They're even headed to filing for divorce with the family court. But this is all my son's doing. Deceived or not, he did cheat. Neither my husband or I are on my son's side. He got what he deserved for betraying his wife. I think it's a justified outcome. Sorry for telling you all this here. I just really wanted to share this with you when I saw you. Forget about such a foolish son and be happy. With that, my mill left. Her sharing this with me was probably her own way of showing kindness. I never saw my ex-husband or his parents again. I have no idea what kind of life he's living now, but it's no longer of any concern to me.